And at number 10, Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. This relationship was hard to watch because we all knew that they were moving too fast and it was most likely a mistake, but the fans still supported it anyways. The pair met while Ariana was guest hosting on SNL, and instantly they were all over each other. The pair even got engaged a few short months later, leading many to scratch their heads. But only a few months after that, the pair revealed that they were going to be ending their engagement. Ariana told Vogue in the August 2019 issue that their whole relationship was highly unrealistic. She added, quote, "I met Pete and it was an amazing distraction. It was frivolous and fun and insane and highly unrealistic. And I loved him and I didn't know him." And at number 9, Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom. This one makes me so sad because Khloe and Lamar were my favorite couple until it was exposed that most of their relationship was a lie. These two got married only 3 weeks after meeting one another because they knew they were madly in love. They stayed together for a few years and they even had their own reality show called Khloe and Lamar. But years later, the couple suddenly divorced. It was exposed that Lamar had been cheating on Khloe almost constantly throughout their marriage with countless women. The couple divorced shortly after he was found unconscious in a brothel, and even though they were separating, the Kardashians were still there for him and helped him get back on his feet. Khloe spoke about the split, saying, quote, "I never wanted the divorce to begin with, but you know, I never want him to spiral out of control. But some people need to walk down a certain path in order to heal, so I'm just happy that he's healing." And at number 8, Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne. These two have been together for many years, with their relationship starting as a business relationship with Sharon managing Ozzy. But that doesn't mean the relationship has not been rocky. During their relationship, Sharon got the feeling Ozzy had been cheating on her, which he ended up confessing to. In 2018, Sharon revealed that she managed to get the truth out by Ozzy with sleeping pills. She said, quote, "I was a broken woman. He sent me an email that was meant for one of his women, then he took his sleeping pills. I put an extra 2 in his drink and asked him everything and everything came out." The couple briefly split in 2016 because of this cheating, however the two did eventually get back together and have been together ever since. And at number 7, Jesse James and Sandra Bullock. This marriage went down in flames due to infidelity caused by Jesse's insecurity over their relationship. The couple first started dating in 2003 and got married in 2005. But after only 5 years of marriage, they split in 2010 after it was exposed that Jesse had been cheating with multiple women. After the split, Jesse said the hardest thing was not being able to be with their adopted child Louis. But in 2017, he raised some eyebrows when he said, quote, "In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life." Basically making light of the cheating. However, after those comments got a lot of heat, Jesse changed his tune and made a statement saying, quote, "This has caused my wife and kids pain and embarrassment beyond comprehension, and I'm extremely saddened to have brought this on them. I'm truly sorry for the grief that I have caused them. I hope one day they can find it in their hearts to forgive me." And at number 6, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. After only 4 years of marriage and a reality show that brought us into the lives of the couple, these two had a messy split. And Jessica ended up filing for divorce in 2005. And from what we saw on TV, everyone was pretty sure they were going to split while watching season 3 of their show. They even admitted on TV that they didn't know as much as they thought they did about each other before getting married. A producer on the show even explained the tension between them. Nick was blue collar and frugal, while Jessica was a big spender. During a 2015 interview on CNBC's Closing Bell, she revealed that her biggest financial mistake was marrying Nick because she had to pay him $12 million. Jessica said they were fine when they were filming, but when the camera crews left, it was very tense and awkward.
Number 5. Rihanna and Hassan Jamil. The former couple seemed like they were perfect for each other after rumors swirled that the two were engaged in 2017. Although they managed to keep their relationship very private and didn't post many photos together on social media, photos emerged of the two on a trip to Mexico in 2018 that left many fans wondering if they were done for good. The paparazzi captured photos that painted a picture of Rihanna screaming at her former billionaire boyfriend and angrily pointing her finger at him while they were on the poolside. What's interesting about the photos is that in comparison to Rihanna, Jamil looked very calm and almost passive in the argument, which made the whole thing go viral. Because of all the noise online, the singer took to Instagram and posted a meme of a female lion roaring at a male lion with the caption, quote, "When you think you know more about soccer, hashtag World Cup 2018. But even though she had a good sense of humor about the fight, the couple still ended up splitting up in 2020 because allegedly their lives were just too different and it was too hard to maintain a relationship. Number 4, Nicholas Hoult and Jennifer Lawrence. The couple fell in love with each other when they first met on the set of the X-Men movie series and became co-stars. Jennifer played Mystique and Nicholas portrayed Beast. It all seemed to be going well for the pair pair until they suddenly split in 2014 after dating for nearly 5 years. They did have a really public fight, however, when they were once spotted arguing during a dinner. According to reports, the former couple was at a restaurant together when they started really getting into it. Witnesses claim that the actress was upset about something and even threw her hands into the air at one point. Nicholas apparently also got very frustrated as he started shouting at her. Jennifer had apparently had enough with him and broke down as he stormed out of the restaurant. Seems like it was a bit of a mess, but it's great that the former couple have since been able to move on with their respective partners. Number 3. Simon Cowell and Lauren Silverman. This was not just one explosive fight, but actually several. The lid was really blown off the couple's relationship problems when paparazzi captured photos of them in March last year having a tense argument while walking with their son Eric. According to The Sun, passerbys noticed that the X Factor judge had a face like thunder, and their arguing was so loud almost everyone could hear them. In fact, it was reportedly so bad that Lauren got fed up and had to walk away from Simon, while the former American Idol judge decided to cross the road to the other side to put some distance between them, and he walked the rest of the way on the other side of the street. But that wasn't the first time that the pair had a fight in public. In fact, back in 2013, the couple were seen shouting at each other inside a car in New York City. They were even photographed in the middle of an altercation while sitting in the back of an SBU in broad daylight with their windows down. Simon had his hands in the air and Lauren looked like she was crying. I guess it goes to show you that celebrities really are just normal people. Number 2. Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yes, I'm about to talk about the infamous sushi fight. So in 2016, the paparazzi caught the power couple dining at a sushi park restaurant in LA. And from the photos which surfaced online, we can tell that they really got into it. It showed them having anything but a pleasant sushi date. Beyonce was yelling and waving her finger at Jay-Z while he looked like he was glued to his phone the whole time. They say that it's rude to use your phone at dinner, but even worse, he just seems like he wasn't listening to her at all. The truth is, we'll never know what started the public argument, but it wasn't the first intense fight that they've ever been in. This all took place 2 years after the bizarre elevator fight at the 2014 Met Gala between Jay-Z and Beyonce's sister Solange, when she started attacking him by punching and kicking him in an elevator, all while the bodyguards eventually had to restrain her. It was really quite funny because Beyonce was just standing there and watching it all unfold. The three artists did make a joint statement about the incident, which read, quote, "They both have apologized to each other and we have moved forward as a united family." And coming in at number 1, Shia LaBeouf and Mia Goth. The controversial actor Shia LaBeouf has had some seriously messed up allegations brought against him in recent years, but this fight was just so bizarre that it deserves a place on the list. The actor and his former longtime girlfriend Mia Goth, who has recently starred in the horror movie X, got into a heated altercation in Germany in 2015 that was all captured on video. The argument occurred on the streets and got so bad that a few locals had to intervene. Shia was heard shouting, quote, "I don't want to touch a woman, I don't want to hit a woman, but I'm being pushed." He then got into a random person's car and had them drive him to the airport. He later told that same person that if he had stayed there, then he would have taken her life. But they seem to have made up after the fight and even got married in 2016 in Las Vegas, only to split up 2 years later. The relationship was probably a complicated one because in 2020, People magazine reported that the pair was spotted together wearing wedding rings. Hopefully they parted for good because they seem to be extremely toxic together.
At number 10, we have girl boss Zendaya and her leading man Tom Holland. Now I know who would have guessed Hollywood's it couple would land on today's list. Well, there is a scary amount of celebrity lovers who've given me a reason to place them in 10th. Still, the majority love this couple and think Zendaya is the one for Tom. Yeah, confusing, I know, but stay with me here. Fans' wishes for the couple to separate stems from a deeply controversial issue surrounding the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The duo originally met on the set of Spider-Man Homecoming, where many netizens quickly stressed their distaste for Zendaya bagging the role of the main character's love interest due to her skin color and her race. Avid MCU fans have endlessly pointed out MJ being a pale white woman rather than a fair-skinned one, with genuine reddish orange hair as opposed to the artificially dyed look Zendaya obtained for the movie's premiere. The hate only intensified for the actress when the following set of Spidey movies were released, as Zendaya was still rightfully positioned next to frontman Tom as his on-screen lover. Since 2017, they've played love interests, but most recently, there have been rumors circulating their potential breakup. However, there's not much theory behind these claims. The couple was first forced to confirm their relationship after the paparazzi exposed them smooching at a stoplight, but before this, they were pretty tight-lipped about their romance due to their wishes for wanting privacy. Their last public display of affection was Zendaya's IG post on June 1st for a short but sweet tribute to Tom's birthday. It seems we'll never really know if these guys will ever split for sure, as they seem to be happily minding their business together. Still, one fan said, "While I appreciate Zendaya's BDE and protecting her man, I need them to stop the farce." At number 9, we have former One Direction member and actress Olivia Wilde. Many speculate their relationship to be a PR stunt, and Allison from Distractify wrote, "Harry and Olivia film a movie together, she's the director." And then once filming ends, there are photos of them spreading online looking lovey-dovey. Sounds a bit fishy, no? The two's romance first came to light when they were spotted at Harry's manager, Jeff's California New Year's weekend wedding holding hands. But it probably doesn't help that the soloist was also cast in Olivia's psychological thriller, and now they're all booed up, does it? Fans worldwide, especially former Directioners, have expressed their utter refusal in regards to Harry and Olivia's blossoming relationship. At number 8, we have Britney Spears and Sam Asghari. Apparently, Britney's teenage sons and ex-husband are upset over Sam assumably avoiding Britney's quote mental issues and are worried about Britney's mental health overall. Kevin Federline shares 2 sons with Britney and evidently needed to spill the tea on the relationship dynamics of his kids due to his worrying over her trauma. A source discussed with Page 6, quote, "Kevin did the interview because he and the boys are upset. They worry that everyone is completely ignoring the fact that Britney is battling mental issues, which is not a secret." Furthermore, the pop star currently married to Sam had a close source of her own brand Kevin's public attempts as pathetic and inexcusable. This is most likely a reference to the humiliation Kevin partook in against his wife when he posted an old video of her and her sons arguing on the gram. Kevin has also once declared his children did not have any desire to meet with their mother at that time. However, a Distractify writer named Kelly Corbett spoke about Britney and Sam's relationship dynamics with, "After all Britney has been through, I just want to make sure he's prioritizing her, and sometimes I feel like all he cares about are his biceps. In short, the vibes are off." At number 7, we have Dance Bomb star JoJo Siwa and her on-again, off-again girlfriend Kylie Prue. The two once announced their reunion via Instagram with a Disney World post where they were captured kissing in front of Cinderella's castle straight out of a fairy tale. However, the two split for 7 months prior, and because of this, fans are already foreshadowing another breakup for them in the near future. Some are even wishing it happens now. Rumors of the rekindling were first sparked in April 2022 when JoJo did an extra interview and hinted at how in love she currently was. At that point, speculation that it could be Kylie arose when JoJo purposely left out who it could be, and while many showed support, some were super resistant about them getting back together. Since their breakup in November 2021 left JoJo heartbroken, JoJo did everything from dating Kylie for the first time after a cruise ship in 2019, turning their friendship into something more, and coming out as a member of the LGBTQ+ community following 2 years to reveal her initial relationship. At number 6, we have wife Aniko Parrish and husband Kevin Hart. Now, Aniko has officially decided to remain by Kevin's side after Kevin confirmed his cheating scandal and publicly apologized to his pregnant partner for making a quote bad error in judgment. Aniko has reportedly already forgiven him though. As per his apology video, Kevin explained how he placed himself in an awful situation where only bad things happen, and had crossed the people who were closest to him in the process. There were claims made that Kevin was under threat of extortion, allegedly by a person who claimed they obtained a sexually suggestive video of the comedian and another woman. In turn, Kevin fessed up to his mistakes, and surprisingly, Aniko has since put their scandal behind her. They were later captured having lunch together in an LA neighborhood for the first time since Kevin posted his emotional apology video, making it seem as if no time had passed for them. According to the same insider from earlier, Aniko is quote aware of what's going on and that Kevin is not perfect. She has accepted his apology and is focused on her pregnancy and what's to come. She believes Kevin is a good husband and always comes home to her. She has no plans for divorce.
Halfway number 5, Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. This on and off relationship was incredibly messy, and it kinda still is even though they're not actually together anymore. They started out as teens in love and it blossomed into a mature relationship. But during their off periods, they didn't hold back their dislike for the other. One time, Gomez ripped up a fan poster reading "Marry Justin Please" at one of her concerts. Also, Selena and Justin got into a public feud when Justin started posting photos of Sofia Richie on his Instagram, making it clear that him and Selena were not together anymore. Now that Justin has moved on to Hailey, the public has started a love triangle between the three of them. It seems that no matter what more happens, Justin and Selena will always be linked together. And at number 4, Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow. This couple, specifically Gwyneth, was called out for being one of the most pretentious of all time. One thing that got them in a lot of heat was their quote conscious uncoupling. This was a new term that they invented to describe their divorce. They also named their daughter Apple, which got them even more heat in the press. Now that the couple is apart, many still express their dislike of Gwyneth because she has not toned down her pompous lifestyle. She's been mocked in the past for selling a candle that smells like her vajayjay, as well as an egg that's also supposed to go inside of a woman's private area for some reason. And at number 3, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell. This couple is either beloved or hated depending on who you ask. When talking to those that despise the couple, it seems that they like each person very much, just not them together. Apparently their detractors think they go overboard with the PDA and shove it down everyone's throats for publicity. The pair also appears in commercials and sponsorships as a pair, flaunting their family at every turn. On top of that, they have a tendency to overshare things that the public probably just doesn't need to know about. One example of this was when Kristen told Jimmy Kimmel that Dax had a vasectomy. And at number 2, Cardi B and Offset. These two are another tumultuous couple that people love to hate. And we know way too much about their relationship because it seems that Cardi shares it online whenever she can. This couple had gotten engaged, then broke up, then got back together and had a child together. Then Cardi revealed that she was filing for divorce. But the pair got back together and even have a second child now on the way. Throughout their relationship, it's been revealed that Offset cheated a number of times. Apparently the cheating was the cause for a lot of the breakups. And now that the couple is back together, many of Cardi's fans are not happy and think she should be with someone that treats her right. Cardi even deactivated her Twitter at one point because she was flooded with fans telling her to leave Offset. She responded in a long rant saying in part, quote, "If I work things out, why are you going to Offset's Twitter to harass him?" Adding, quote, "A bunch of 15-year-olds telling me how to live my life like a mother effing Ariana Grande or something," finishing off that she does whatever she wants to do and she's not at the mercy of her fan base. But obviously her fans just want the best for her. And finally, number 1, Anthony Weiner and Uma Abdian. This couple had a very rocky relationship because politician Anthony Weiner was doing too much gross and illegal stuff to even name in this video. The high-powered couple were doing great in their careers together, but everything changed in 2017 when Weiner was sentenced to 21 months in prison for sending images to a teenager. But that's not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his extracurricular activities. He accidentally tweeted out a photo of his crotch to all of his followers, along with sending nude images of himself to a handful of other women. At first, Uma stood by her husband, but in 2018, the two divorced. In a crazy twist of fate, Uma would go on to work for Hillary Clinton. The Clinton email scandal would later be exposed because of the ties that Clinton had to Weiner through her trusted advisor, Uma.
Number 10, Kirsten Dunst and Garrett Hedlund. This is a great way to start off the list because even though this public fight was embarrassing, it seemed like the couple were able to shrug it off relatively quickly. We're going to talk about the epic couple fight that happened way back in 2012 between actress Kirsten Dunst and her on-the-road co-star Garrett Hedlund, who just recently started dating at the time. Although the actors had plenty in common and things started going well initially, cameras caught the couple having a major argument on their way to a movie theater, which was so intense it looked like it was about more than which movie they were seeing. It looked like something had sparked a pretty big fight as the pair continued to hurl insults at each other on the way. Whatever happened in the car that day, it was probably just a petty argument because they ended up dating for another 4 years. And in 2015, Kirsten said, quote, "We're the same age, we have similar backgrounds, he feels like family to me." But sadly, like most other good things, the relationship came to an end in April of 2016. Number 9, John Mayer and Jessica Simpson. If there's one thing that Hollywood knows by now, it's that John Mayer is a bit of a playboy. His reputation as a womanizer definitely precedes him, so that's why everyone at one point was really surprised to see him with Jessica Simpson. He raised eyebrows when he used the phrase sexual napalm to describe his romance with Simpson and even compared her to a certain illicit substance that he said he couldn't get enough of. The couple dated for a year, but they broke up several times throughout their relationship. In fact, sources close to the couple told people that things were always on and off between the pair and they had arguments constantly. Unfortunately, 2006 marked the year that they decided to finally split for good. The couple was on vacation in Mexico when they were photos snapped of them arguing on the balcony of their room. Jessica looked like she was in tears, and it was undoubtedly a breakup. The news of their split came shortly after the photos were released, meaning there's a good chance that the paparazzi actually captured the moment when Jessica and John called things off for good. Number 8. Adrienne Maloof and Sean Stewart. Apart from their almost 20-year age difference, it seemed like there were a myriad of other issues that plagued the brief relationship between Rod Stewart's son, Sean Stewart, and former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Adrienne Maloof. The couple split up after having a blowout fight on the red carpet. According to eyewitnesses, the duo arrived separately, and Adrienne walked the red carpet with an even younger man, 24-year-old Jacob Bush. TMZ spotted the pair fighting next to the red carpet at the charity event, which definitely marked the end of their on-again, off-again relationship. The argument between them got heated, and Sean could be seen storming off, telling his ex, "I'm done," when her date tried to approach him. Stewart later claimed to Brandi Glanville on her podcast, quote, "I do want to clear up one rumor. She never broke my heart." But when it came time to explain the bizarre public fight, the reality TV star only told Star Magazine, quote, "I have a lot of changes going on in my life. I went through a period of darkness, and I am much happier now than ever. Things are good." Number 7. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk. Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk were one of the power couples in Hollywood. The two dated for nearly 4 years before calling it quits in 2019. However, the two have created many memories which fans fondly remember, even one of them at the famed tennis tournament. Paparazzi caught what looked like a super awkward argument between actor Bradley Cooper and his model girlfriend at the 2016 Wimbledon's men final. In the video footage from that day, Bradley was caught whispering into Irina's ear while she appears to cry and turn her head away from the actor. She appeared to be dabbing tears out of her eyes and then crossed her arms and refused to look at him. In the video, he then went back to watching the tennis, and she just sat in silence beside him. While it's not clear why the two were really fighting or what they could have been possibly fighting about, but that didn't stop people online from speculating wildly the way the internet loves to do. Some even suggested that Bradley and Irina were fighting over his ex-girlfriend Suki Waterhouse. Although it feels like you can almost cut the tension with a knife, TMZ later reported that sources close to the couple claimed Irina was simply battling pollen allergies. Well, it really could have been anything. Number 6. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. The stars were photographed having a very emotional moment inside a car prior to their divorce. Back in 2016, the pair were arguing in their SUV after dropping their 3 children at school, when things started to get really heated. Just looking at the picture that has been circulated online, you can tell that Jennifer was getting very frustrated with whatever Ben was saying, and she proceeded to make hand gestures throughout the argument, probably because she felt like she wasn't being heard. At one point, she can actually be seen breaking down in tears inside the vehicle. But this instance wasn't a one-off, and recently it seems like Ben has a lot of explaining to do. The 49-year-old was caught earlier this year puffing on his cigarette fiercely while appearing to be in another fight with Jennifer on the streets of Los Angeles. The exes appeared to be locked in a heated conversation outside her car just hours after it was revealed that Ben and his now fiancée Jennifer Lopez bought a $50 million home together. The pair rekindled their relationship in April last year, almost immediately after she ended her engagement with Alex Rodriguez. So the timing is definitely interesting.
Halfway at number 5, Massimo Giannulli and Lori Loughlin. This celebrity couple got intense backlash after it was revealed that they bribed their children's way into University of Southern California. The crime, now called the college admissions scandal, involved the couple paying $500,000 to consultant William Rick Singer to get their daughters Olivia Jade and Isabella Rose into the University of Southern California as fake rowing team recruits. There were even photos released showing the girls using rowing equipment, proving they were involved in the decision to cheat. Both parents were charged in the scandal and got time in prison. Lori Loughlin served 2 months in prison, while her husband Massimo served 5 months along with various fines. The couple's image has not recovered from the scandal, as many cannot believe that they decided to cheat while they are already in such a privileged position. And at number 4, Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock. People are outraged following a new court decision that states that Kelly Clarkson will be forced to pay her ex-husband $200,000 a month in support. The decision is set to start April 1st, and the funds are $150,000 in spousal support, as well as an additional $45,000 in child support for their 2 kids. Not only that, but Kelly is also being forced to pay her husband's legal fees, which amount to $1.25 million. Apparently this is all fair because Kelly makes roughly $1.5 million in income per month, and the judge believes $200,000 is a fair share of her earnings. Following the divorce, her ex-husband Blackstock says he will be giving up his career as an entertainment manager and is pursuing a full-time career as a rancher on his Montana property. This order from the judge comes after Kelly requested that she be declared legally single among her ongoing divorce from Blackstock, and this decision has received a lot of backlash in the media. And at number 3, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. These two have been hot and heavy since they started dating. At first, everyone was incredibly happy that both of them found love, especially Kourtney, considering she went through hell with her last long-term partner, Scott Disick. But since it's now been months and the PDA has not slowed down, fans are just starting to get really annoyed. Recently, a video was leaked showing the pair at breakfast, with Kourtney straddling Travis at the table. Many felt this was way overboard and was completely inappropriate to do in public. Some comments on that post read, quote, "You can't tell me this isn't a publicity stunt when they're acting like 13-year-olds. Another fan commented, quote, "Come on, some PDA is fine, but this is too much. You never know if children are around either." Let me know your thoughts on this one below. And at number 2, Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton. This couple got a lot of attention for their decision to wear necklaces containing the other's blood on a red carpet. Media outlets even claim the necklaces contain vials of their blood. But years later, Thornton says that the whole thing was blown out of proportion. He says it was just a simple idea that the pair pricked their fingers and smeared some blood in the necklaces so they would have it while they were away from each other, adding, quote, "It was that easy, but by the time it came out in the press, it sounded like we were wearing a bucket of blood around our necks." Apparently, Angelina thought it would be romantic and similar to how parents wear a locket with their baby's hair in it. Honestly, I still think this one is really strange though. And finally, number 1, Tommy Lee and Britney Furlan. This couple is pretty wild, and they're known for making fans a little uncomfortable. This was the case recently when Britney revealed that her and Tommy are being haunted by a ghost. Britney shared this on her TikTok. In the video, she told her trash can to open up if a spirit was present. At first, nothing happened, but then the trash can opened to the shock of Tommy Lee. Britney then explained that they are renting this place while their home is going through some renovations, and they recently learned that the man that lived there before them died of a heart attack in the house. After this, she started addressing the spirit as Tom, and the spirit was much more responsive. Tommy can be heard yelling, quote, "What is happening, dude?" before covering his eyes in disbelief.
Number 10, Nigella Lawson and Charles Saatchi. The couple's fight was witnessed by a photographer who stumbled upon celebrity chef Nigella Lawson being choked by none other than her husband, Britain's most high-profile figure, Charles Saatchi. The incident all went down during her birthday lunch, and a now infamous photo was captured of the chilling sight. The photographer, who only went by the name Jean-Paul, told Vanity Fair in 2013 that when Charles grabbed his wife's throat, quote, "It was so violent, with such force that her head snapped backward." The story hit the tabloids at full speed and actually served to open up a much-needed conversation about domestic violence. Their relationship was obviously far from perfect, but the intense controversy that the incident sparked was enough to tear them apart forever. That same year, Charles filed for divorce from Nigella after 10 years of marriage. Funnily enough, he later told the Daily Mail that putting his hands on her throat was merely a gesture, and insisted that there was no pressure applied to her. Yeah, right. Number 9, Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. Their 72-day marriage had certainly shown signs that it was going to end quickly. A few days before Kim divorced Kris on day 68, the couple was spotted arguing in their car while out on a dinner date in Hollywood. The newlywed couple were photographed heading back to Kim's car after dinner, and you could visibly see the tension in the air. Kris looked fed up, and Kim was giving her new husband the death stare while yelling and waving her hands at him as the argument began to escalate. This very public fight was indicative that their relationship was on the rocks, because that same year Kim went on to file for divorce and got the marriage annulled. The Los Angeles Times even reported that Kim had only married him to increase ratings on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The best part was that Kris asked for a $7 million divorce settlement from his ex-wife. Otherwise, he threatened to make her endure an ugly public trial. But the NBA star ended up walking away with literally nothing. Number 8. Emma Roberts and Evan Peters. The American Horror Story actors first met on the set of Adult World in 2012, and in the short 4 years since then, the two have shared more drama than some of Hollywood's biggest blockbusters. Toxic doesn't even begin to describe their relationship. We're talking about at least 3 breakups and deleting all social media traces of each other. Early on in their relationship, TMZ reported that the two got into a heated argument while staying at a hotel in Montreal that ended up with both stars getting physical. When police arrived, Peters was found with a bloody nose and bite marks on his body, prompting police to take Emma into custody, arresting her for domestic violence. But her then boyfriend decided not to press charges and they were back together a few hours later. What's really bizarre is that a couple of days after the fight, photos were shared online of Emma clinging to Evan while sobbing into his arms after news broke of the fight. Paparazzi were even able to capture the two hugging one another, with Emma looking extremely upset the whole time. The incident was a bit of a grey area, but many have labeled it as straight up domestic violence. Number 7. Stephen Amell and Cassandra Jean Amell. The couple have been married since 2012 and all seemed well in public until it didn't. The star of CW's Arrow and his wife got into an altercation on a Delta flight from Austin to Los Angeles that ended up with the actor having to be forcibly removed from the flight. Stephen was reportedly screaming at Cassandra while they were seated on the plane and appeared to be intoxicated when a flight attendant asked him to calm down multiple times. When the fight escalated to the point of no return, the actor had to be restrained and removed by an air marshal and 3 flight attendants that worked together to get him off the plane. His wife did not go with him and instead chose to remain on the flight. Big surprise there. With the incident made public, Stephen took to Twitter to try and explain the whole thing and claimed that his emotions got the better of him. Quote, "My wife and I got into an argument. I was asked to lower my voice and I did. Approximately 10 minutes later, I was asked to leave the flight and I did so immediately. I was not forcibly removed." The whole thing was really absurd because if they needed 4 people to get him off the flight, something about his side of the story just doesn't add up. Number 6. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Before the former couple split, their relationship was clearly becoming strained, as The Sun reported that the same year that Jolie filed for divorce, they were spotted in Legoland having a major public spat. Onlookers told the magazine that both stars didn't look happy and looked stern-faced, and photos from the incident show Brad actually grabbing Angelina's arm while she pulls away and appears to be screaming at him. The couple filed for divorce in 2016, citing irreconcilable differences. Now the actors are both learning to co-parent their 6 children after years of custody battles and child support drama. According to Daily Mail, Brad has even been seen visiting Angelina's house to spend time with his kids, so it sounds like they are back on good terms.
Number 5. Channing Tatum and Jenna Darwin. While it seems to be a trend of couples meeting on the set of movies and getting together and becoming couples, Channing Tatum and Jenna Darwin were no exception, as the pair started dating shortly after they worked together on the iconic dance movie Step Up. Although it looked like things were going extremely well for the pair, they would show the world that there were signs that things were off for months before they announced their divorce. Jenna would even open up about the couple's last months together in their relationship in her book. This is when she would claim that the two were only hurting each other by staying together. Also leading up to the couple's divorce, the couple were often seen sharing words out in public before heading out and getting snapped by the media in several photos. And after the public arguments, it would seem like Jenna would rather look at her cell phone than talk to Channing. Number 4. Blueface and Krishan Rock. Lately it seems like Blueface and his girlfriend Krishan keep making headlines for all the wrong reasons. If
you've been online for the past few months, then you probably have seen the viral videos and tweets of the rappers going viral with the rise of the couple's reality show Crazy in Love. However, while some users view the relationship as entertaining, I think we can collectively agree that their relationship is pretty toxic, as we have seen the two enter into some pretty concerning altercations. The problem with the two is not only that the relationship is dangerous, but it's also harmful for the immediate parties around them. While it seems like Chrisean is the main reason behind the couple's toxic relationship, she would go into an interview to come out to address the public's concern about her relationship by saying, "We're just here learning, figuring things out. We met each other, how we met each other, but that's it." However, now that Chrisean has announced her pregnancy with Blueface, things are only going to get more messy going forward, and that's what is the most concerning part for their fans watching. Number 3. Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman. Like any couple, it's no secret that Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman have endured their fair share of issues throughout their relationship. After all, Keith has used some of their disagreements as inspiration for his songs. While the couple often tends to keep their disagreements away from the media, back in 2016 when Nicole was captured giving her husband a look that no husband wants to see, the internet would go into a frenzy while they try to figure out what happened. The confrontation would happen when they were at a movie premiere. Insiders would then tell the Daily Mail that things took a turn when Keith got upset over the couple's very busy schedules as they had spent the year apart. Apparently, Keith wanted to return to Australia to be with their family, but Nicole, on the other hand, was just really sick of Keith sulking about them being apart, and she just wanted him to be with her and support her career. Number 2. Rihanna and Chris Brown. Back in the day, Rihanna and Chris Brown had a relationship that made us all raise our eyebrows. Eventually, during their relationship, after headlines started to show that Chris got into a physical altercation with Rihanna, he would eventually be arrested and charged, and eventually the stars would also call off their relationship. Just before, the couple was at a pre-Grammy party when they started arguing in a car. Later, Rihanna would then open up about the altercation in an interview with Diane Sawyer. There, she would claim that their altercation started after Rihanna saw a text from a girl on Chris's phone. Rihanna then said that she knew he was lying and that he knew he had nowhere to turn. However, Rihanna would then go on to note that there had been warning signs that something bad was going to happen long before the incident. Apparently, the more the couple fell in love, the more they both started to realize how dangerous they were for another. Today, Rihanna has used her experience to help other young women going through similar situations. Number 1. Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf. Just before Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf decided to split, they had quite a habit of getting caught on camera having these really public fights. Just before the two started dating, Shia actually met and fell in love with Mia Goth on a set of their movie, and eventually they decided to walk down the aisle. While the couple has now gone on their separate ways, they were involved in some pretty high profile and public fights while they were in Germany. In a viral video in 2015, the two could be seen screaming at each other. The footage in that video would then show Shia walking away from the scene and getting into a car as he explains that he didn't want to hurt Mia. Then a source would confirm that apparently when Mia tried to talk to Shia again, he would then respond to Mia by saying he was being pushed and he didn't want to be aggressive.
And at number 10, Blac Chyna and Rob Kardashian. This has to be one of the messiest celebrity relationships ever. Literally every aspect of it. Things were strange from the very beginning because there was a familial connection. Chyna and Tyga had been married and had a child together, but Tyga left Chyna for Kylie Jenner, Rob's half-sister. Immediately, the Kardashians thought that Chyna pursued Rob for the wrong reasons, but over time they got used to the relationship and even supported it. When the couple got pregnant, the Kardashians were in full support, until the relationship started to become incredibly toxic and things turned ugly. Both Rob and Chyna posted private conversations and photos of one another on the internet, and the pair are now in a massive legal battle. Chyna actually sued the entire Kardashian family for allegedly kicking her off the show. And at number 9, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. This couple is incredibly controversial. A lot of people love the pair and think that they complement each other perfectly, but a lot more dislike them, especially Chrissy Teigen. Now that Chrissy has been officially cancelled off the internet and lost a lot of her followers as a result of her problematic behavior, fans are looking more critically at John. Many are wondering if John is similar to Chrissy behind the scenes and not as nice as he seems. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that one. Many people are also incredibly annoyed by the couple, specifically how they always always try to seem so down to earth and relatable, when they actually live an incredibly lavish life that most people cannot relate at all to. And at number 8, Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin. These two were on and off for a few years until they decided to officially get back together, then quickly get married. Since they got back together, Jelena shippers have tried to tear this couple apart. Fans also look very critically at their marriage and poke holes in whatever possible. However, the couple does give a lot of content that fuels these splitting rumors. The most recent thing that's raised eyebrows is this video going viral that looks like Justin is screaming at Hailey in public. From the video, it looks clearly like he is very angry with her. However, people that were there claim that's actually not what happened, and he was just trying to tell her a story, and I really hope that is the truth, because if he was yelling at her in public, that's just incredibly disrespectful. And at number 7, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. When this couple got together, they were hated by the media because this union broke up the marriage between Brad and Jennifer Aniston. At first, they were hated, but then they seemed so in love, the public started to buy into their love story. That was until their divorce, when things got incredibly nasty between the couple, specifically the pair's custody battle over their children. Their divorce has actually been so drawn out that they needed to find a new judge to look over the case. As of now, Brad has been granted joint custody of the kids, much to Angelina's dismay. So it seems the legal battle will continue until Angelina gets what she wants. And at number 6, Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag. These two are one of the most hated reality TV couples ever because they betrayed their friend on TV. The worst part about this borderline evil couple is that they thought they were invincible, but quickly learned that that was not the case after the show ended. Because of their behavior on the show, they've been somewhat shunned from Hollywood, having to resort to D-level celebrity programming like "I'm a celebrity, get me out of here." But one thing that holds true is their love for each other, and I guess the rest of the world hating on them has really brought them together. The two have remained married despite being both completely broke due to their frivolous spending in an effort to stay in the tabloids.
At number 5, we have Justin Bieber and his apparent mistreatment of his wife, Hailey Bieber. It seems like the world is super divided when it comes to this pairing, because one half believes Justin is genuinely mean to her, and the other feels as if people are looking far too deep into situations and crafting scenarios. Still, there is a reason to believe and deny both claims. A video floating around the internet from Kendall Jenner's 818 Tequila brand party is at the center of the Justin-Hailey debate. In it, Justin is reportedly shouting at Hailey around 2 a.m., and his expressions reportedly strongly suggested anger, stress, and intense vibes overall. It was obviously indicated that Justin was yelling at his wife, but the reason behind it is still unknown. Apparent witnesses who were near or with the star all night tell a much different story though. Some fans soon chimed in to weigh in on the final decision with comments like, "I was right there behind him and he was not yelling at her. He had just gotten off stage at the club and was hyped and had all this adrenaline. They were both smiling and laughing, but of course that's not the part of the video that gets posted. Stop twisting things." Another few said, "It's obvious he's angry, hard to deny there's trouble. The press always trying to make him look bad, and he's making it hard to believe he's a good guy. Imagine how he yells at her when it's not in front of all the cameras." At number 4, we have Olivia Munn and John Mulaney. Reportedly, John cheated on his wife by impregnating Olivia after he allegedly discussed not wanting to have kids in his life. Apparently, a source also called Olivia a pick-me girl. The world just seems to mutually dislike these two together, so it's really not a surprise that they're here. Quite frankly, they've confused the heck out of the public and are constant top spot media outlet cover stories for the wild pregnancy that just turned about all romance fans off. Back in May, a People News drop revealed that the TV host and comedian were an item. A source described their meeting to be in an LA church, but that they actually had awkward interactions in previous years. The insider also stated how Olivia and John were looking to take things slowly. However, their first expected child became news only 4 months afterwards. John extended the news on Seth Meyers' late night show, where John spoke about Olivia in a picture-perfect Disney fairy tale type way. But some fans are just not feeling it, and many netizens are upset with both parties and have expressed their endless reasons why they believe Olivia and John's relationship is just bad news. At number 3, we have reality star Kourtney Kardashian and her partner Travis Baker. Fans have been wanting them to break up ever since they started dating, and it seems that insiders have revealed that Kourtney's kids and ex are also uncomfortable with their romance. Endless media scrutiny has painted Kourtney and Travis as attention seekers who are playing up their PDA for the media. And even though their relationship supposedly started through the connection of getting their kids together to play, Mason, who is active on social media, seems to be super turned off by the lengths the couple have gone through to express their desire for one another. In the beginning, fans saw wholesome content online like hand-holding between the two, before things got weird with suggestive videos like Courtney sucking on Travis's thumb. From then, and probably long before, people were completely turned off and fake gagging, including Courtney's kids being grossed out and not supporting their relationship, according to the recent source. Their ACPDA post may makes Kardashian fans cringe, and many have questioned the validity of the stars' romance. The two have been described as a showboating opportunity, and Courtney has been put on blast for supposedly being a hypocrite for exposing her life with Travis after previously removing herself from her family's famous reality show due to her tiredness of sharing her life's details. So while they may seem genuine to very few, most believe their increase in their PDA-packed social media posts is merely a tactic for attention. At number 2, we have the married couple momentarily deemed as the world's worst. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's relationship has been under scrutiny as far back as Jada exposing herself for entangling herself with younger musician August Alsina. Since then, tensions have been increasing, and the two have only picked up more hate speed steam after Will's infamous Chris Rock Oscar slap that resulted in the actor being banned from the show for a decade. According to numerous reports, these two are headed to divorce land, and it won't be pretty once it's finalized. However, despite word-of-the-mouth sayings that they are determined to separate with one of the ugliest divorce proceedings in the history of the entertainment business, Will and Jada themselves have already stated that they have no interest in divorcing. In fact, aside from their constant ups and downs, Jada has deemed their time as one for recovery, and Will has stated that they have no room for separation. Where this gets weird though is that a close friend of the couple made claims that there have been a cloud in the two's relationship for years, and that their current communication is super limited. The state of California also has a law that states Jada will receive approximately $350 million if the two were to ever get divorced. So yes, of course they should break up, but who's the one really benefiting from it here? At number 1, we have Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Any guesses as to why they're a top spot? Well, the public seems extremely over them lately, especially with their latest breakup rumors flying through the Hollywood wind. Despite MGK calling Megan his wife at his latest concert, fans are hoping and pleading for them to just call it quits. Their unconventional romantic ways and blasts of over-informing all the details of their love have been the topic of many fans' conversations, but for a much different reason now. Speculations that they are no longer together are even crazier now that Megan had refrained from posting MGK on her social media, and apparently walked away from the musician leaning in for a kiss on a red carpet, according to some eagle-eyed fans. Many have theorized trouble in their relationship in light of Megan not publicly speaking about MGK since his Life in Pink Hulu documentary. However, MGK is still touring, so their lack of movement may have an actual reason.
And at number 10, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. If you didn't already know, this couple met on the set of a movie called Midnight in the Switchgrass, as they co-starred in the film. And even though the film is responsible for their relationship, the couple hasn't been saying the greatest things about it. On the day of the movie premiere for the film, MGK tweeted out, quote, "If I don't talk or tweet about a movie I'm barely in, it's because it's trash emoji." Apparently Kelly has not posted about the movie at all ahead of its much anticipated release. Megan Fox also skipped out on the premiere. Her reps told People, quote, "Due to the recent California mask mandate and the rise of COVID cases, Megan Fox will no longer be attending the premiere tonight." However, I doubt both stars missing the premiere of the movie is a coincidence. And at number 9, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis shocked the world when they revealed that they don't bathe their kids unless they are visibly dirty. They revealed this on the Armchair Expert podcast, saying they only gave their kids baths as infants when they could, quote, "see dirt on them," adding, quote, "When I had children, I also didn't wash them every day. I wasn't that parent that bathed my newborns." Dax Shepard agreed, adding that people, quote, "should not be getting rid of their natural oil on their skin with a bar of soap every day." Kunis said the decision related to her poor upbringing, saying she didn't shower much as a kid. And at number 8, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Harry and Meghan are one of the most controversial couples ever, and their popularity is drastically different depending on where you ask. The couple were beloved in America and Britain until they decided to step back from their royal duties in 2020. Then they did their explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey, which completely tanked their approval ratings in Britain, with many Brits thinking the couple went too far and turned their backs on the royal family. According to a YouGov poll, 49% of Brits had a negative opinion of Harry, while only 43% had a positive view of him following the interview. Meghan was much worse. Only 29% of Brits liked her, while 69% did not. Many Brits also spoke out against the couple and condemned their decision to leave. And at number 7, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. This couple, referred to as Bennifer, was huge back in the early 2000s. They started dating back in 2002 and were engaged months later. However, their romance did not last, and they ended up calling off their wedding only days before the ceremony. But following Jen's recent split from A-Rod, Bennifer is back on, and they are more in love than ever. Last week, a Hollywood insider told People that the duo is, quote, madly in love and are, quote, the loves of each other's lives, with another adding that they are doing everything possible to make things work out this time. Although the couple has lots of fans, they also have a lot of enemies. Many people think that both of them moved on too quickly from their last relationships and they're basically just rebounding with each other. Others even say they are doomed to the same fate as before. I guess time will tell with these two. And at number 6, Jason Oppenheim and Chrishell Stause. You may know Chrishell and Jason from the hit show Selling Sunset, where the co-workers' relationships were put to the test on screen. Well, it looks like the two are now dating, and the internet is going wild. While on the show, Chrishell got divorced from husband Justin Hartley, and it looks like she's found love again. What's even more interesting is that Jason did an interview with Page 6 and exclusively told the outlet that he most likely wouldn't date anyone who's a part of the show. However, that's clearly changed now. At the time, Jason said, quote, "I opened up another office in Newport Beach, so I'm stretched pretty thin right now. Dating is just not a priority for me right now." Is this a publicity stunt or the real deal? Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Number 5. Jessie Nelson and Jake Roche. When the former couple arrived together at the album release party for Little Mix's Get Weird in 2015, they were supposed to be in high spirits for the event. But the evening soon took a turn for the worst, as somehow it ended up with Jessie crying. It was reported that Jessie allegedly had a massive fight with her then fiance before she decided she had had enough and stormed out. A source told the Daily Mirror newspaper that the girls had been having a great night, drinking and even dancing on the tables the whole night until the early hours. But somewhere around the AM, Jessie and Jake had a tiff, and Jake stomped off to a nearby hotel, and Jessie was clearly sobbing and she took a cab home. The singer was spotted leaving the venue in London and hopping into a cab in the early hours of the morning, with makeup smudged around her face and eyes bloodshot after the fight. The couple announced their split the following year, so it looked like in this case the fight may have been indicative of a larger issue in their relationship. According to reports, the reason they split was because Jessie wanted to start a family, but Jake, who was only 24, felt that he was too young to be a father and that they had the rest of their lives to have children. Number 4, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Their infamous on and off again relationship was definitely not free from arguments, and some of them were caught on camera. Right before Selena and Justin got on a plane to Paris, they got into a huge fight while at Princess Juliana International Airport in St. Martin, and unfortunately it looked like a massive one. In the video, we see Justin and Selena sitting in their car outside the airport in St. Martin before their Paris flight. Selena storms out of the car, walks into the airport by herself and throws her bag on the floor. Justin didn't immediately follow her, instead he chose to sit in the car for a little bit, which probably made her even more mad. When he did enter a few minutes later, she was chatting with a fan that had a baby, and Justin came over and they silently walked to their flight. You could tell both of them were equally frustrated, but in 2014, this was only one of the many public fights that the couple would go on to have. In fact, after their romantic trip, they went to Paris Fashion Week, which led to more arguing because Justin reportedly went to dinner with Kendall Jenner and partied with her at the same party that Selena was at. She flew out the next morning alone, leaving Justin in Paris, and then deleted him off Instagram. Number 3, Johnny McGade and Courtney Cox. These two are also known for their on-again, off-again relationship, and after getting back together once again after a brief split, the actress and her musician boyfriend were seen arguing outside a West London restaurant and appeared to be exchanging heated words as they dined outside during Courtney's visit to the British capital. In one shot, the former Friends actress can be seen waving her arms and phone in front of Johnny's face, while in another she looks frustrated as she held her head in her hands. Not long after, she gave her then fiance the silent treatment before getting to her feet to leave the restaurant. For some background, the pair have been engaged, unengaged, and living separately for the majority of their relationship, even though they've been together for 7 years. And so this argument really fueled rumors of more relationship problems. The argument was reportedly about the couple planning their nuptials when they started fighting about the finer details, and insiders told reporters that the couple couldn't agree where they would live, as Johnny supposedly wanted to move back to the UK and Courtney wanted to remain in LA. Number 2, Christopher Hivju and Guy Mulvere. If you forget about Season 8, Game of Thrones was really an epic TV series that took over the world as soon as Season 1 hit and made several of its stars household names. Norwegian actor Christopher was one of the stars who appeared in the series over the years, but it was his public fight with his wife, Guy, who is a photographer, that really got people talking. They say that redheads are known for their temper, so it seems like these two are really perfect for each other. The couple were spotted having a heated argument as they were shopping in Los Angeles, as Guy had reportedly been looking for a new dress. No one really knows what the fight was about, but onlookers claimed that their argument lasted for over an hour and escalated very quickly. During the fight, you can see the actor raises his hands in the air in frustration, while his wife, who looks incredibly distraught, has her eyes to the ground the whole time. The fight continued before they both stormed off. Just goes to show you how celebrities are normal people too. Number 1, Shia LaBeouf and Carolyn Foe. Yes, he is back on the list because the actor has a seriously extensive track record of public spats. Shia LaBeouf is fairly well known for his outlandish behavior, where he frequently just takes it way too far by getting kicked out of a performance of Cabaret or being arrested for public drunkenness in 2017. But this fight dates back to 2012 when he and his then girlfriend Carolyn were caught fighting on camera and having a tearful exchange on the side of the road in LA. It was then that rumors started circulating about the extent of Shia's involvement in the sex scenes in Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac, which were reportedly real. So naturally his girlfriend would be upset. She did not seem too thrilled that her actor boyfriend Shia had shared an intimate scene with his co-star in the movie. But Carolyn was pretty quick to deny the fight, telling the New York Daily News, quote, "It's none of anybody's business. Everything is fine with us. It was nothing affiliated with this movie." Although that might be true, clearly something had caused the couple to have a public screaming match on the side of the road in broad daylight. And just like that, in November the same year, the couple had officially decided to split for good.
Starting off our list at number 10 today, we have Beyonce and Jay-Z. Back in January of 2015, Beyonce and Jay-Z had anything but a quiet sushi night as the megastar couple was captured getting into it at Sushi Park restaurant in Los Angeles. In released photos, Beyonce could be seen yelling at her husband. And later, OK Magazine would then speculate that the altercation happened because Jay-Z's non-stop cell phone use during dinner. However, like many mysteries and the fact that the couple usually tends to keep their private life, pretty private, no one can say for sure what the two may have been arguing about. However, this wouldn't be the couple's first public fight, since back in 2014, the couple had an infamous elevator incident that first brought potential difficulties in their relationship to light, and both have explored marital conflict in their albums 444 and Lemonade respectively. But it seems like all is well now as they continue to gush about each other in interviews, and back in 2017, Jay-Z also said he was really proud of the art Beyonce was releasing, and he also noted that she was amazing. Coming in number 9, Emma Roberts and Evan Peters. Just before Emma Roberts and Evan Peters split for good, the American Horror Story co-stars in 2013 were caught on camera while they had a pretty serious physical fight. While it may have seemed at the time that the two were actually a perfect couple in Hollywood, it was anything but perfect. When the two stars started to make headlines after they had a pretty public fight in Montreal, the New York Daily News would then report that the Montreal police had to attend to the scene after people called in a domestic situation. When the police showed up to the couple's hotel room, they would find Evan with a handful of injuries, which included a bloody nose and a bite mark. The police then opted to arrest Emma on the scene, even after Evan chose not to file charges against her. Although Emma was released, the paparazzi would then capture her breaking down when she learned the news had reached the media. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. When Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth posed at the LA premiere of the Avengers Endgame in 2019, their red carpet smiles didn't last too long, as the two widely displayed their different styles and tensions between them were pretty palpable. When Miley couldn't stop talking about how she wanted to let her hair down and have a crazy fun night out, Liam was there to support his brother Chris and was hoping to have a fairly chilled evening. And it appears neither of them would end up leaving the red carpet happy at the end of the night, as Miley,
did Miley, as she was seen vamping it up for photographers, and her Aussie actor hubby at the time grew increasingly uncomfortable, resulting in the famous duo getting into their first major fight as a married couple. And you could even see Liam at one point on the red carpet telling Miley to behave. After the two then walked off the red carpet, Liam would then angrily accuse Miley of turning the premiere into the Miley show, and once the couple got home, a source would then reveal that they got into a big fat argument. And then jump to the day, Miley wrote a song called Flowers that highlights their relationship and how it was never perfect. And it's been #1 on the billboards for the last 3 weeks, and she even took a jab at Liam in the music video by wearing the suit he wore that night on the red carpet. At #7 we have Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. Before Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck decided to go their separate ways, the world was pretty shocked to learn that their marriage was anything but perfect. While there were plenty of rumors in 2015 that suggested Ben had been unfaithful in their marriage with the family's former nanny, after the couple returned home from vacation, a fight would break out shortly after, and this is when they dropped their 3 children off at school. Onlookers would then tell In Touch that Jennifer and Ben were in their SUV when things started to get a little out of hand. They even started to claim that there was lots of gesturing through it all, and the photos and videos captured, you could see Jennifer crying. This is when people started to believe that Ben was making it clear that their marriage was over and that he was going forward with the divorce. #6, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. At one point in time, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were Hollywood's it couple, and you couldn't turn around without seeing them mentioned somewhere in the street. But it seems like after the couple filed for divorce and went their separate ways, they have been hitting headlines for some pretty serious accusations. Before the couple ultimately decided to part ways, they would be spotted at Legoland in Windsor, and they would be spotted coming off this ride with their children, and the couple could be seen getting into a pretty serious argument where Brad would be shown touching Angelina's arm before she pulled away and decided to shout in the actor's face while they were in public. The people who captured the photos then said they saw the couple again later, and they looked like they were still arguing sometime later.
Halfway at #5, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You guys already know we had to include this one because this might be the most cursed relationship ever that is sadly still playing out in the courts. When they split in 2016 after a brief marriage, Amber accused Johnny of getting physical with her on multiple occasions. But then in 2019, after denying the claims, Johnny alleged that Amber was the one that actually was physical with him. Then shortly after, explosive audio recordings leaked that showed Amber admitted to being physical with Johnny in the past. As of now, Johnny has been losing their legal battles. He even lost a libel suit against the Sun, but he is not giving up and he's committed to having the truth revealed in court. In at #4, Janelle Evans and David Eason. After Janelle Evans had been unlucky in love with her 2 previous partners, many felt that David Eason was finally the man who would make it all right. The pair even got married and had a child together, but shortly after things began to unravel and it was revealed that there were a lot of problems going on in the marriage. It was discovered that Janelle had called 911 on David before, as well as revealed that he took the life of their family dog after it was aggressive with their child. After this all took place, the pair temporarily lost custody of their kids, and Janelle claimed she was going to be getting a divorce. But after things got sorted out, Janelle decided to stay with David and claimed that they would do their best to work it out. In at #3, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. This has to be one of the messiest celebrity relationships ever, literally every aspect of it. Things were strange from the very beginning because there was a familial connection. Chyna and Tyga had been married and even had a child together, but Tyga left Chyna for Kylie Jenner, Rob's half-sister. Immediately, the Kardashians thought Chyna pursued Rob for the wrong reasons, but over time they got used to the relationship. When the couple got pregnant, the Kardashians were in full support, until the relationship started to become incredibly toxic and things turned ugly. Both Rob and Chyna posted private conversations and photos of one another to the internet. The pair are now in a legal battle. Chyna even sued the Kardashian family for allegedly kicking her off the show. In at #2, Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. The relationship between this couple was incredibly volatile, not only because of their personalities clashing, but because substance use was involved. It seems that they both were a bad influence on each other, and their relationship made their substance abuse even worse. In 1992, Courtney told a story about one of their first weekends together. She said that they did a lot of and they even got high, then went to SNL while still intoxicated. When Courtney got pregnant with their daughter, they both vowed to get clean so she could grow up in a healthy environment. However, just 2 years after Kurt and Courtney got married, it was discovered that Kurt had taken his own life, although many fans speculate that Courtney was actually the person responsible for his death. And finally, at number 1, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. Scott and Courtney were together when the Kardashians started their reality show, but right off the bat it was clear that he was the black sheep of the family, and they all had their suspicions about Scott. Over the course of the show, we saw these two break up, make up, and get pregnant 3 times together. It was clear that infidelity was a part of the problem. Scott wanted to be out partying till the early morning, while Courtney just wanted to stay home with the kids. Courtney eventually called things off for good after Scott went on another party binge weeks after the birth of their 3rd child, and photos of him getting cozy with other women surfaced. Over the years, the pair have developed a close friendship and even sparked rumors that they were getting back together. But clearly things are still rocky, which we know by the messages that Scott sent to Eunice Benjima, shading Courtney and Travis Barker, which are super weird. Alright, that's all for the list, guys. Please let me know your thoughts on this one below. But before I go, I'm gonna shout out some comments from my video on Wendy Williams. Audra Lynn said, "I love you, Mackenzie. The bloopers reel on this one were hilarious. I didn't even realize they were doing bloopers. I guess for some of them they do. I watched them. It's like, oh, it's so cringe. Because for me, I don't even try and make bloopers. It's like if I mess up, I'm just like, oh. I just like kind of stop myself and like keep going. Like I try not to make it a dramatic funny thing unless it is, you know what I mean." Then Kellen said, "Wendy is toxic. Loved her at first, but quickly soured." It's one of those things you love to watch her, right? Because she's so entertaining. She really is. But after a while, you're like, hey, wow, she's really talking about real people, and it's a little sad. And Emily said, "I honestly have to say I like Nicki's clapback at Wendy, lol. Yeah, it was savage. I mean, do not come for Nicki, obviously, right? Like, she's like the queen of rap for a reason. She will go off. And what she's saying is true. I mean, what's that saying? If you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. Some variation of that. Wendy lives in a pretty glass house.